What's going on, guys? Hunter Robinson here, back again with another episode of the Perfect Cast. It has been a little over a year since I've completed my bait tank build, and I must say that this tank has exceeded my expectations. I'm telling you, the bait tank hype is real. If you're a big time cat fisherman, I suggest you build one of these because the amount of time it has saved me is unbelievable. With that being said, there are a few things that I modified with my tank, a couple things I added, a couple things I changed, and that's kind of what this video is, just an updated version of my tank nowadays. Also, I'm going to give some tips on how to maintain your tank throughout the year to help keep your tank in good shape, you know, and also keep your fish very healthy. So anyways, before we get into this, please smash that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get after it. Alright, so first we're going to get into a couple things that we changed here in the tank, starting with these hose clamps. I used to have metal ones and they rusted and corroded away pretty quick, so now I went with some plastic ones and I will never have that issue again. Moving on from that, I also had a metal paint crate that was blocking the exit hoses from my filter here, so nothing got clogged in them. I got rid of that, switched that out with some of this plastic fencing here that I got off of a job site for the same reason, because the metal one got all rusted, so now I won't ever have to deal with that again. Also, this didn't really change, I just removed it. I used to have, if you watch my old video in your crawl, I had a box filter sitting right about here. That is no longer sitting there, it's now sitting right there. And the reason behind that was basically because when I had a lot of fish in the tank, it was in the way. They love to hide behind it when I go in to scoop them out, so I had to get rid of it. Also, I don't know how much it was actually helping my tank. And now you can see how clear it is. I just stick my net in there, stick my net in there, and out they go, nowhere to hide. Moving on from that, we're gonna go to things I've added to my tank. First, we're gonna start with the filter itself. In the beginning of the video, you've seen the pads, the filter pads that I added into there, and I'm not going to open that up right now, but I will have a link down below in the description for them, because they keep this water crystal clear. I don't have any fish in here, but this water's been running for like a month now, and I'm telling you, even when there is fish in there, those pads keep that water crystal clear. Moving on from that, I got myself a little thermometer. Don't necessarily think you need it, I just like seeing the water temp. From there, we go into one of my favorite add-ons, and that is this awesome light here. I don't recall the name of it, but I will look it up and have a link below in the description. You can see this light changes all kinds of colors, and it's great. I have no natural light in my garage, so every morning I come out and I turn it on to the white light for these fish, and then before I go to bed I turn it off. And I just want to show you, with the lights off, how much it brightens up my tank. It's so cool. At nighttime, sometimes I come out here and I feed my fish. It's got the light on, sitting in the dark, looking down into the tank, listening to the water. Pretty awesome. So yeah, moving on from that. Take this light off. We got my favorite thing I added, which is right here. I got 2 air stones down here that are connected to this dual port air pump back here. That is a Higger air pump, and I'm telling you, that is the best air pump I've ever owned. It actually has a dial on the front of it there that you can change the speed or the pressure that these bubbles come out. Right now I'm not even halfway, and I'm going to turn it up for you guys so you can see. We amped it up a little bit there. Look at that. That is awesome. And these are tiny little air stones, you can see. I mean, these, you can get them at Bass Pro. I will have a link in the description below for these. They just have a little weight on them. But these things hold up really good, I will say that. I've had some of them for like 2 years in my little bait buckets there, and they've run great. So they're pretty awesome. But yeah, this air pump is the best, man. I love it. All right. Anyways, moving on from that, that's just some of the things I added to my tank. Now we're going to talk about how to maintain your tank. A couple, you know, tips for what to use to help maintain your tank. And what I have learned is, you know, I feed my fish. The first thing I feed my fish, do not feed them earthworms, feed them mealworms. I'm telling you, it keeps the tank a lot cleaner. You feeding them earthworms, it's gonna dirty up your tank pretty quick. When your tank does get dirty though, I got myself a little pool skimmer here, and I like to dip this down in there, kind of swirl it around, kick everything up, and get it right into my pump there and up into my filter. And that seems to work for me. Seems to keep the nitrite levels down, which is pneumonia, and you don't want that because that will kill your fish. But if you do end up having problems with that, that's when you got to get into the chemicals, and that's what we're going to do right now. This is all I use, nothing else other than these chemicals right here. And we will start with the first one, this AccuClear. This is a full bottle. I used it one time. Since I added those new filter pads into my filter there, I've never needed it again. It did help, you know, keep my pond clear, my tank clear, but those filter pads help really good even when there's fish in there. I mean, you can see how clear that water is now, but even when there's fish in there, keeps it crystal clear. From there, we got some foam off. This stuff is magic by Sure Life. This is amazing stuff. On them hot summer days, you start getting a lot of foam on top of your tank, which it's not too bad with sunnies as like what it is with shad, but you just got a lot of foam. You put a couple drops of this foam off in there and that foam is gone. It is magic. It's unbelievable. From there, from Sure Life also, we got the Better Bait. If you follow any of my other videos, you know I swear by this stuff. It's the best stuff out. But I do not use this in my tank. I might have used it twice last year. This is mainly for my bait buckets here, transport my fish. Gotta have this in the bucket if you're sitting on the river, man. Keeps that bait super lively. Oops. From there, we got Stress Coat Plus. Stress Coat Plus is awesome. There's also Stress Coat, but I use Plus. Stress Coat Plus does everything it says here. Usually only use this though when I add fish or when I'm doing small water changes, but it works great. Definitely keeps the fish not stressed out. It does exactly what it says, man. It's great stuff. From there, we got something else that I've only ever used once, and that is this Pristine by Seed Chem. In the very beginning, I didn't have any of this stuff, so I was building up. I had about 40 fish in here, and I was building up pretty high on some nitrite and nitrate. Got this stuff, and yeah, it worked wonders, man. But I've never used it since, because I've kind of learned as I go on how to keep that stuff down. And then lastly, we have the 5-in-1 pond test strips. This is just to test your water, and I do this about once a week, just to make sure everything's, you know, good to go. And this will get you, if you're not, you'll know what to do to fix that problem. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys learned some tips and tricks to maintaining a safe and healthy bait tank. Also, maybe learning some things you can change or add to your own personal bait tank. But mostly, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate you watching. Till next time. Aye.